Hi everyone, thanks for watching my After Stamp Wars video. We had Stamp Wars on March 18th and our sponsor was the Ton Stamps. We each received a mystery packet that included stencils in a die and stamps in a die. These are the 5 cards that I'm making as part of my After Stamp Wars video. Our special guest for Stamp Wars was Call Me Crafty Al. I'll have her information linked below in the description box. Here's a picture with the cards that she created. They're just beautiful. You want to make sure that you check out Stamp Wars Replay over on Nancy Stamp's YouTube channel. Nancy will be giving away a complete set of everything you see here. The Sweet Bouquet stencils and die and the Easy Expression birthday stamp and dies. And please make sure you check out Chow and T's videos as well. I'm going to be doing a giveaway as part of my video, so please make sure you leave a comment in the description box below, letting me know what is your favorite flower. Okay, let's get started. I have my stamp positioning tool, and I'm going to start with the sentiment stamps and matching dies that you can purchase. By the way, the Ton has generously provided a 15% off discount now through the 25th. So if you haven't yet gone over to the Ton and checked out their website and picked out a couple of these wonderful products, I urge you to do so. The Ton has amazing layering stencils. They've got some real cute stamps and lots of great products to choose from. And that they're offering us a 15% off coupon code is a really great thing. So I really just want to encourage you just to head on over there and support the Ton. They were our sponsors for Stamp Wars 28. Now this is a brand new stamp set, the first time I'm using it. So I did use some Versamark on the stamps. I just want to make sure that everything with my ink sticks. All right, so I have some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Now, what's great about this stamp set is you are going to be stamping a whole bunch of sentiments all at once. And then if you get the dies, the die is one big die and it cuts out all of these all at once. All right, and I think that the convenience of that is just amazing. Not only does the stamp set include these large scripty words that you see here, but also some words that match with these scripty words, and then a couple other sentiments as well that you can either put on the inside or the outside of your card. I'm just using some clear embossing powder. I'm using that VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, which is a pigment ink. It's going to lay on the paper for a minute or so and not dry. And so that allows me to grab my heat gun and use that to heat emboss these words. You could use black embossing powder over your Versamark if you want, but I just prefer to use the VersaFine ink. It stays wet enough for me to emboss quickly. As a matter of fact, I emboss not only the sentiments in black, but also in purple, blue, and pink. So I have a whole bunch of sentiments that I heat embossed and die cut for future use. I'll show you those later in this video. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put my paper back in my stamp positioning platform, and I'm going to grab the accompanying, I guess you would call them mini sentiments that go with these larger words. I do have a little bit of washi tape I'm using to keep my paper in place. And then you just go ahead, and the stamp has these rectangles. So they are called register marks. And as long as you line up the register marks with what you just stamped, and in my case, heat embossed, everything's going to line up perfectly. Not only does the ton have this set in birthday, but you can buy, there's a set for thank you, a set for holiday, all occasion. So my plan is to grab a couple more sets using my 15% off code. Then I will be able to just sit down and mass produce a whole bunch of sentiments, because there's nothing like having a nice die cut sentiment that you can put on the front of your finished card. Okay, now I've cleaned my stamp. Now I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss this, and I'm doing it in the same way as I did the words, these little mini sentiments that go along with it. I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss those too using clear embossing powder and the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Next, I'm going to die cut the sentiments, and this again is the Easy Expressions birthday set. Let's go ahead and read to you. When you put it all together, you'll have these die cut sentiments. Happy birthday to you. Have a fabulous day. It's time to celebrate. Make a wish. Sending birthday hugs. Happy belated birthday, just for you. Happy birthday. Yay, it's your birthday. Cheers to you. And then the inside sentiments, I'm calling them the kind that you put inside the card. I can't thank you enough for being older than me. You don't look a day over whatever age you're pretending to be right now. These are real snarky. I love them. Just kidding. Happy birthday. Don't hate me because I'm younger, and I'm glad you were born. Okay, so a little snarky, a little sweet, a little bit of both. But anyway you look at it, it's a fabulous set. Here's what it looks like after you do the die cutting. Aren't these great? Next up, we have the Sweet Bouquet stencils. These are 5 4x6-inch stencils. You also can purchase the coordinating die and stamp set separately. For this set, you will need 6 ink colors, 3 shades for the petals, 2 shades for the foliage, and black, which would be for the center of the flowers. Each stencil is etched and has the numbers and directions. I'm going to be using Catherine Pooler inks. The first color that I have is Twilight, which is a nice light purple. This is for layer number 1. I'm using my Waffle Flower Media Matte. And in order to line these up, there is a little trick that I'd like to share with you. They're easy to line up, for one thing. Secondly, I think I do it on my second stencil, not this one. But if you take your brush and if you just take a little bit of that ink and rub it around the corner of your stencil. So I didn't do it on this one, okay, but I'll do it on the next one. And that's going to give you then basically a place marker that you can use to line up all your future stencils. Now this is stencil number 2, and it's not hard to line up. I'm pretty much doing this in real time. I don't have my video in fast forward. I did that on purpose. For this section, I want you to see how easy it was. Okay, now I have it lined up. I just have a little piece of good old-fashioned Scotch tape that I'm just using to hold it in place. Now this is called Serenade. That's my mid-tone purple. And I'm rubbing a little bit off on the paper there that I have, just so that I don't have too intense of an ink color. Okay, and these are so easy. They couldn't be any easier to create with. That's what I love about the stencils from the ton. The major wow factor is amazing, and the simplicity is just time saving. Now you see I just put a little bit of ink on the edge there, sort of like in the top right and the bottom right corners. There you go. And now when I put my next stencil down, I'll be able to just put it right in that notch. So that helps to give you a guide. And then the last color that I'm going to use is Crushed Violet. But I will tell you, I made 2 cards in total with purple ink. And on my second card, I switched Crushed Violet and I grabbed Queen for a day. I will tell you that I felt the Crushed Violet wasn't dark enough, which you're thinking it's looking pretty dark here compared to the other 2 colors that I used. But with this last layer of ink, the darker you go, I think, the better it looks. It adds the drama to the flower. Okay, but still it's beautiful, just like this. But just take a look at my finished cards. Let me know if you can tell that I did use a different color purple. Okay, so this layer is layer number 4, and it includes the centers of the flower, which I am going to use Twilight ink for that. And it also includes some of the first layer of foliage. And this is Minted by Catherine Puller. And you can go ahead and ink blend with your blending brush, but I did grab a mini Post-it note just to help protect so that I don't blend like black ink into the area that's supposed to be green, just to protect it, just because I know me and I can get kind of messy. So I'm sorry that my video is late going up, guys. I've had really a very hectic week at work, doing a lot of on-site meetings and being constantly on the run. I really haven't had much of an opportunity in the evening to do any crafting because I've been working late and just trying to keep up with all the reports and everything that are due. Yeah, work has been really, really busy. I'm not complaining. Oh, I'm using Blackjack. That's the color black ink that I'm using. I have a very small brush that I'm going to use. It's a real small, it just reminds you of a makeup brush that you would use to put eyeshadow on. And it's probably that kind of brush. I got it off of Amazon, like in a multi-pack with like 10 in a pack, really cheap. But I found that this little brush helps to get those small areas where the center of the flower is. You don't have to use this kind of brush. You can just use your regular blending brush. Whatever you decide is fine. And then I'll go ahead and pull that last piece of Post-it note off and finish that small flower that's at the top. And I must have missed a little spot with the ink blending because I went back in with that green with the residual ink that's on the green blending brush. So the last layer is for the foliage, and I'm using the color ink Hot Tub. I will tell you that I changed this in my second card. I used minted and sea glass because I felt that the hot tub color just didn't really give it enough of a contrast. That was just my decision. I also made a whole bunch of cards with pink ink, but I didn't do them on camera because the video is going to be probably about 30 minutes, and for me to show you various different combos of ink would take too long. Isn't this gorgeous? It's just beautiful. Again, this is Sweet Bouquet stencil set from the Ton. Now I am going to show you in fast forward mode some of the embossing folders that I selected from Spellbinders. I sprayed a little bit of water on them before running them through my big platinum machine. I'm using the universal plate system. This one is a real pretty embossing folder that looks almost like a waffle. It's funny that I say that, but it reminds me of a waffle and it has diamonds in it. This one that I'm using right now is Tile Mosaic it was only available as part of a club, but it's a really good one too. So I did grab a couple other embossing folders from my stash, but I didn't show you me rolling them through. So if you look at the top left-hand corner of my video here, you can see the different colors that I heat embossed my sentiments. So I did get a lot of sentiments that I can use in the future. And about 10 seconds ago, you saw me gluing a die cut of this flower. So I die cut the shape of the flower, and then I actually die cut the flower. So that's why it's not on a piece of paper. It's die cut. But anyways, I did that because I wanted to just add a little bit of stability to the flower. I was using hammer mill, I think 80-pound paper. So it's not the thickest paper. With this embossing folder, I was trying to glue it down, but I guess because there's so much texture, it just didn't want to stay, and I didn't have the patience, so I just grabbed my tape runner and taped it down. All right, so like I said, this flower is the die cut flower, plus then an extra one die cut and put on the back just to give it a little bit of stability. And you wouldn't have to do that if you're using a really heavy duty cardstock. And then I'm putting foam tape on the back, and I'm going to pop this up, and that's going to make it like very dimensional. I don't do that with the rest of my cards, but I wanted to do it with just at least one of my cards. And the double-sided tape is really, really best when you're using such a textured embossing folder. You can position your flower in the other direction if you like. As a matter of fact, I have another card that I'll show you at the end where I did flip it and turn it the other way. But it's up to you however you want to do it. So I have to hold this sentiment for a minute or so just to get it to stay in place and not fall off. And then I'm going to add some sparkly sparkle to the front of my card. I have some confetti. This is from the company This Calls for Confetti. And I'm going to end up using fuchsia because basically my card panel is fuchsia and my flower looks like it has some fuchsia in it. I just think these sequins match really nice. And they can be applied with your glue. Okay, and then I put 3 on the card front. And then once that's done, this card is done. And I'm going to show you my assembly process for the others. This is a really great stencil to have if you're like mass producing cards. So I like it, but I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle. So I have this Nouveau brush that has glitter in it. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some clear glitter all the way around the flower. And just to give it some sparkle. And now notice the purple on this flower. This one is the Queen for the Day, which is my third color purple. I switched it up because on the first card I made that you saw, I used crushed violet. I like the Queen for a Day. I like the dramatic lines that it creates. Just gives this whole card a little bit more punch. Okay, and so I'm using my sparkle pen, and this one says, "Have a fabulous day." So I didn't make any cards with birthday. I wanted to just make cards with universal sentiments. So I stuck with 2 of the sentiments, "Just for you" and "Have a fabulous day," because I believe those could go for any occasion. And I tried to just change the position of my flowers so they wouldn't all look the same. This one is the hot pink heat emboss. You have a fabulous day. And once I get that to stick, I go ahead and glue down the sweet bouquet. So in the end, I made 3 purple and 2 pink. So I made 5 cards. It's such a versatile set, and it's the perfect size. Fits nicely on an A2 card. This is what I'm doing. I'm just adding a blank die cut just to give the flower a little bit more stability. And as far as my card bases, I varied them. For some I used black, for others I used white, and then I used actually purple as a card base for one of these cards. Now I'm just grabbing a couple pieces of confetti and I'll glue those down and put them on the card front. And just like all my other cards, I'm using the Nuvo Sparkle pen. I have a piece of scrap paper that I'm squeezing. I actually once or twice I squeezed it just to get that glitter sparkle brush to activate. I didn't want to squeeze it over top of my card for fear that it would come bloop flying out like that with the sound effects. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I made 3 pink and 2 purple cards. This one says, "Have a fabulous day." It's turquoise ink that's been heat embossed with clear embossing powder. But it looks really fabulous. Talk about fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put together this card. Again, please make sure you watch Nancy's video. You need to leave a comment on her video for a chance to win every product that you've seen us create with. The Sweet Bouquet layered stencil and the Easy Expression birthday stamp and die, as well as the Sweet Bouquet stencil die. Please check out T over at Not Afraid of Color. Please check out Chow, which is Create with Chow. Please check out our very special guest, Call Me Crafty Owl. She did such a great job, and her follow-up video is amazing. And for mine, I would like you to leave a comment letting me know what's your favorite flower, and I'll pick a winner to do a giveaway as well. All right, I'm just going to put the rest of these confetti down, and this is the tinsel confetti. The confetti that I'm using on these cards are all what they call tinsel confetti. And this Calls for Confetti has some beautiful colors of confetti, which are basically sequins without holes, which makes so much sense for card makers, because if you, like me, used to use sequins on your cards and you always had to worry about that hole in the middle, you don't have to worry about that with this. Well, I'm glad that you had the chance to check out my video. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you would subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified of any future videos that I post. I'll have links below for Nancy's YouTube channel, Crafty Owl, Chow, and T's YouTube channels, as well as playlists for our past Stamp Wars. And I don't know if I explained this to you or not, but with Stamp Wars, it's mystery. We don't know what we're getting in the mail. We don't know who the sponsor is. I was the only one that knew because I was the host, which means I didn't craft along, but I basically moderated and served as an admin to the channel. So again, I'm sorry this took so long, but I hope that you enjoyed my video and I hope that you like my cards. Don't forget to leave a comment letting me know what's your favorite flower. I am going to do a giveaway. My contest is open to U.S. residents only, age 18 or older. Stay tuned because I'm going to have some still shots of my cards. Oh, and please give this video a thumbs up. And please leave a comment letting me know what's your favorite flower for your chance for a prize pack from me. Don't forget to check out all the other Stamp Wars videos. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye. And thank you to the Ton. Thank you, Effie, for sponsoring Stamp Wars. We love your products. Bye-bye, everyone.